And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto episode 1079. Today is Tuesday, March 7th, 2023, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
At 10ish, in today's top stories, WeChat integrates digital yuan into its payment platform. Tornado Cash dev says sequel to Crypto Mixer aims to be regulator friendly. DAO gets legal recognition in the U.S. as Utah DAO Act passes. And Yuga Labs, first Bitcoin NFT auction net 16.5 million in 24 hours. First and foremost, what's going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So let's take a look at our prices for today. Bitcoin sitting at $22,201, down 1.1%. $1,551, down 1.3%. Binance at 285 is down 0.47%. XRP at 37 cents is up 2.5% on the day. Cardano sitting at 32 cents for some reason is down 2.7%. Polygon at $1.13 is down 0.08%. Dogecoin at number 9 is at 7 cents, down 1.1%. And rounding out the top 10 is Solana at $20, is down 3.2% on the day. And some of our trending coins is the good old faithful Bitcoin, Shiba Inu, and Steppen. Some of the recently added coins include Kibo Sheeb, they're not even trying anymore, Shrapnel, and ROA Core. So if you're a DJ and looking to dumpster dive, there you go.
We got to figure out. I don't know if it's the browser or what, but you're right. That these robots and AI on the back end do not like hearing you complete a sentence sometimes, man.
Yeah. I think it's I don't know. It may be restrained because
your screen's going in and out right now as well. But we're gonna continue on while you get that fixed up. Give some quick shout outs to the warriors out there. What's going on? Humney Developer, Virgo L Unico, Khalifa, Chloe Dior, Smitty Farms, Goodness, TOP Cast. Every state could possibly start a DAO. There we go. Down at Muhammad Enzo, what's going on? Just call me L. Bless up. BK Crypto. The metaverse president. Funny enough story, BK Crypto. I was wearing your hoodie yesterday. If you all see BK Crypto's avatar right there, I was wearing his hoodie yesterday, and that will play a part of the show. I'll discuss why yesterday. Very interesting conversation I had with an LA shop manager of sorts. But first and foremost, top story of the day, we're going over to China. We're going to be talking about WeChat. WeChat integrates digital yuan into its payment platform. We've been hearing about it being teased now for a while. It looks like it's official, but Chinese social media platform WeChat has incorporated the digital yuan in its payment app to boost the CBDC's popularity. Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with this story?
Oh, man. So it looks like WeChat has taken on the CBDC without saying it explicitly. But we know about the digital yuan. Chinese social media platform WeChat has incorporated the digital yuan in its payment app to boost the CBDC's popularity. Oh, yeah. So it's coming whether you want it or not. If you don't know, King has explained before, WeChat is an all-encompassing social network and payment app. You cannot do anything in the country without it. In fact, they actually have a social credit score where I saw that they can discourage you from being in certain areas to get away from undesirables. So Dilbert probably won't get as much flack about that as he would over here.
Hey, listen,
about being around certain people.
You should don't get me fired up. I always knew deep down who and what Dilbert was. I knew it deep down. It's just I knew it. But for him to come out at I mean, man, way to end a career, right? Way to blow it up for no reason. But whatever.
I saw some of his interviews. I think he worded it wrong. He basically was saying, "Don't be around people that don't want to be around you," based on a poll. But the poll could have been anybody. If you do that poll in Detroit, or if you do it in Baltimore, if you do it, it's a little different than if you did it in, the Texas.
Well,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's
But
weird.
my only thing with
He felt that way, and I was like, yeah, of course, most black people don't hate you. Like, it's just you saw a poll, you took it. Oh, 50% don't want us to be around. I'm like, no, that's not true either. But he put his foot in his mouth with that one.
Definitely did. But who knows? I'll keep it crypto for today. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. We'll see if this force application will get the CBDC, the digital yuan, up and running. I mean, by and large, whether it's them doing it, El Salvador adopting Bitcoin in certain wallets, Venezuela doing things, whoever it is that's adopting their digital infrastructure at this point, these are all going to be use cases for the United States. I mean, whoever gets theirs to work and gets people to actually use it the fastest, mass adoption, we'll see the U.S. do it. I think that's what we're waiting on as well. We don't want to test it ourselves. We're letting other countries test it out, see what works, what doesn't work. The White House came out today and said, yeah, we're watching the Silvergate Bank situation. I was like, hey, I didn't know the government cared about every private bank out there, private companies, right? So these type of things are on the radar of the White House. And I think this would be a part of it. Something like WeChat adopting a CBDC, the White House definitely knows about it, especially after China just made those inflammatory remarks directly about us, basically saying we fucking up the economy. They're like, hey, y'all want somebody to blame? Look no further than the U.S. They basically came out and said it. So with all these things happening all at once, you better believe the U.S. is looking at WeChat saying, hey, how are they rolling out their digital yuan? And can we do the exact same thing for our citizens as well? All right, let's see. Tornado Cash. This is an interesting story. Tornado Cash Dev says sequel to Crypto Mixer aims to be regulator friendly. I don't even think that's possible. It's supposed to be, again, this is that whole, how do we get crypto to work on exchanges? And it's like, well, the first sentence says a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. So it's not made to be on an exchange. This is the same thing. A crypto mixer isn't made to be regulator friendly. It's made so no one on the planet knows who did these transactions, zeros and ones. But what is going on with this story in your point of view? And oh, I was looking at the story. I looked at Zay. I was like, and I just lost you again.
Yeah, I think Restream is messing me over a little bit because Zoom was just fine yesterday, and this was just fine for the coaching classes. But Restream is messing me over. But it's all good. Tornado Cash, basically, as you know, the Tornado Cash dev was taken to prison based on the fact that he actually achieved his goal of decentralized private money. But he explained that the critical flaws that users cannot prove that they're not associated with a criminal enterprise stealing or laundering crypto funds. And a former Tornado Cash developer claims to be building a new crypto mixing service that will fix this critical flaw. And he hopes it will convince U.S. regulators to reconsider its position on privacy mixers. The code of the new Ethereum-based mixer privacy pools was launched on March 5th by Amin Soleimani. And one thing I will say is, well, two things I would say is, first, don't negotiate with terrorists. Coinbase is learning the hard way. So I would not even care about talking to regulators. Second thing is, if you're not going to talk to regulators, I wouldn't make myself well known. I wouldn't, I would definitely keep my own privacy because you saw what happened to the last developer. But hopefully he doesn't get bit in the ass with this, like your boy before had to go to prison for. But if he's trying to have a mixer where he's working with regulators, that is within itself a critical flaw. I mean, that is a attack vector because as soon as they come knocking on the door, as soon as you hear that knock on the door, hey, my man, we need these 10 accounts because we think they may be money laundering, and shut up and don't ask any questions. And there's nothing he can do about it unless he wants to go to prison. So this is a lose-lose, in my opinion, unless you go the full private route. And like I just said, you can't negotiate with terrorists. Coinbase has learned the hard way, and hopefully he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's funny you're saying that. I was looking up that Friday After Next thing, like, what happened to the last two security guards? What happened? Hey, you don't even know what happened. How you gonna tell me what happened? Listen, here's the thing. I get it. I think this is a great business play, a great corporate play, because hey, privacy mixers may have a use case outside of just the general crypto sector, right? Maybe even more specific when you start talking about we're going to use these privacy mixers possibly for transactions we do throughout our company, right? Some companies are huge. You talk about the likes of Amazon or international companies working with employees from everywhere and doing things everywhere. Maybe they have a reason to use these type of transactions internally, or even governments, right? There might be use cases where the government wants to use it, right? So maybe this is just more of a corporate rebranding of this and a recreation of it just to have some type of capital come in for a project. Cool, makes sense, but like you said, it's like almost it's not even almost, it's an oxymoron. You can't have a regulated privacy mixer, like slippery. Yeah. This is the whole slippery slope thing. So, and that was I was going to mention actually. So shout out to BK Crypto. I was wearing his hoodie and went with my green sweats I had on yesterday. I stopped by what is this store? It's like a weight store. They sell weights and workout equipment, because I was like, man, I need some dumbbells or something at the house or whatever. So I'm talking to him, and he brought up the crypto thing. He saw my hoodie, and he's I almost got into it at $50 and all this other stuff, but I was told it's for criminals on the news and all that. I was like, yeah, I remember those days and good stuff. But long story short, the whole point of this story is going to be how okay people are with the system right now. So we keep expecting this drastic change and stuff. It's like, no, people are okay with this. So the quick background, the guy was going on and on about basically he's like some type of socialist or something. Everybody should pay for each other kids' school and all this other stuff. And he was like a staunch one, like, oh no, I believe this shit. And then but we got the crypto, and he basically was talking about the problem with Bitcoin and all of crypto is that there's no inherent way to tax it. I was like, well, why do you need an inherent way to tax anything? His whole thing was just like, well, he's essentially was like, life would not work if we did not have government and tax, period. He was like, well, how would it? And that's where where the socialist thing, bro. Thank you. Don't get me started.
Beta.
Bro, I said it to his face and like as polite as I could. Hey, I said it to his face as polite as I could, but I couldn't hold it in. I was like, bro, you triggering me now. Like, I might be triggering you. We're about to trigger each other here. Bro, I'm trying to go look at some weights and go get some pizza, bro. Like, I'm just mind my own business, whatever. But so the point is, so he's telling me about that's where we get to. Bitcoin can't be inherently taxed. Crypto can't be inherently taxed. We have to have a tax. And these are some of the flaws and problems. So of course I get to like, well, why do we have to have a tax? Like I was like, Bitcoiners have like these altruistic natures where if there's a problem, people go to fix the problems. I'm like, bro, at this point I've been here talking to him like 30 or 40 minutes. And I'm like, I'm looking at my thing. I'm like, I was like, I have things to do. I'm talking to you about crypto and Bitcoin because I explain what Bitcoin is, all this other stuff. I've been here talking to you for like 40 minutes for free, man. I'm like, nobody's paying me to do this. No one's paying these developers. No one's paying all these people. Like people are doing this for free. And then he's like, well, corporations, if we don't have to tax them and all this other stuff, and who's going to pay for kids' school? And I was just like, do you own this store? He's like, no, I work here. I'm just like, bro, like he's grown. He's way older than me. I'll say this guy got to be in his late 50s, possibly 60s or 70s or whatever. I'm like, dude, like get your priorities together, man. I'm like, Bitcoin doesn't have a barrier to entry right now, and you're advocating the issue with it is that there aren't more regulations to it, there aren't more taxes to it, there aren't all these barriers to entry for you to feel safe to enter the market, but the technology still works. So I say all that to say, when it comes back to things like Tornado Cash, where he's saying, hey, I'm going to make this sequel, it's going to be so much better, and it'll be regulator friendly. He mean that shit. I really believe he means that. This is not some selling point or some scam. Like, and I do think things like this will be adopted and accepted, maybe not in the wider community or in the more core part of the communities. But when you talk about the people who are literally just here for some dollars or just to play around and have fun or whatever, I can see this being a thing. There's people like the guy I met yesterday who literally can't even see in front of them, but they're trying to dictate the entire world and planets. Like, and I kept telling him, I'm like, bro, like, what are we talking about here? I can't believe this is a real conversation, Zay. It was hilarious to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that California brainwashing is real. I swear, I thought some of these, I thought these were people you only met in movies, but they were dead serious about.
No, they're real.
We need more taxes, and I'm like, have you seen California lately? They ain't solved shit with all these taxes. They got the highest tax state in the history of the world, of the United States, but they haven't solved anything. And I was like, if it was working, then at some point there would be socialist countries that survive. But hey, man, you can't reason with everybody. Like I said with COVID, remember when people didn't know about QR codes, and now everybody does?
Right.
COVID smacked them in the mouth, and they had no choice. That's what Bitcoin's gonna have to do. I think they're gonna have to get smacked with a recession. They're gonna have to realize that everything they've been told is a lie, and then they'll come around and then they'll need it.
Man, it's going to be a slow process, and some still won't come around till the government tells them to. Again, when we're talking about tools, and that's what I explained, I'm like, we're literally just talking about tools to help people. And you all are saying, well, these tools cannot be controlled in tax. That is amazing. What's even more amazing is that you can say that while you're on the clock. That is incredible to me. like you said, beta as it gets. This is like, bro, you are over here literally advocating for more taxes, essentially making minimum wage. Like, come on, my bro. Like, let's not worry about taking up money from other people's pockets first. Like, use the tools. Bitcoin's a tool. Crypto's a tool. But these are the conversations, man. It was crazy. Someone said, Omni, can liquidity pools be the answer? To a certain extent, yes. But my only thing would be, at what point does a liquidity pool becomes a national security issue for a place like the United States? And we say, hey, why not just use our team of hackers in the military and go after these liquidity pools since you all don't want to play ball, enemies of the state. So literally, when you're talking about all it takes is to wake up on a Wednesday morning and for that to be the narrative coming out the White House press conference and it actually happening, I don't know if they are the answer. I don't know. So we'll see. Let's see what else we have. Are the Lightning Network and Stacks competitors on Bitcoin, or are they collaborating? To my knowledge, they were more or less collaborating. What are your thoughts, Zay?
Yeah, collaborating, definitely. They're not competitors. I mean, none of the layer 2 are competitors right now. They're all just coming up with different ways to do transactions with Bitcoin on layer 2.
There it is. Oh, speaking of layer 2, I'm sure you all saw the announcement, but Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, he honeypotted us, folks. He essentially said that layer 2 is going to be regulator friendly, or at least have mechanisms of AML and KYC on it, which to me says is going to be regulator friendly, which means they'll have this is what you expect. There's a Coinbase layer 2. I'm not even mad. It's like, it's what you expect. There's not going to be anything DeFi about it. It's literally, I won't even call it a layer 2. It's really just going to be, it's an intranet. It's a Coinbase intranet hooking up to the Ethereum internet of sorts. So
Coinbase stinks. Get them out of here.
Get them out of here. All right, on some more news, but this time on good news. I guess I'm starting to see more of these type of narratives. Again, we knew this was coming. Here we are. We got to report about it. But let's just remind people that DAOs are already legal. There aren't any such thing as an unregistered transaction or a unregistered wallet. These are people. We have to stop this from happening. They keep throwing these narratives and buzzwords in there so you can feel bad about doing anything that's not centralized in digital assets. It is supposed to be private first, public and centralized later. So I just want to remind people that, because these type of stories where it says DAO gets its legal recognition, it doesn't need it, but okay, cool that it got it. But DAO gets legal recognition in the U.S. as Utah DAO Act passes. And again, my only issue with this is it's such a slippery slope. If we're going to be happy about these things and encouraging these types of acts and recognition being passed, you have to understand there's an other side to it too. You can't be mad when they pass something that we don't like, because now we're bandwagoning for this type of activity. So I just want to make that clear. The Utah State Legislature passed the Utah DAO Act, granting DAOs legal recognition and limited liability protections. That's right. You can now have a DAO and multiple wives in the state of Utah. The Decentralized Autonomous Organizations Act, Utah DAO Act HB 357, has officially been passed. It provides legal recognition and limited liability to DAOs, legally framing them as Utah LLDs. The act resulted from combined efforts between the Digital Innovation Task Force and the Utah Blockchain Legislature. Look at all those taxpayer dollars to work, all to get recognized and legally protected now for something that didn't need it, to my point of view. But go ahead. I don't know. Make this sound better.
Well, again, just like we coined the phrase CDFI, I think we need to change the term from DAO to COW, because this is literally a centralized act. They passed a act through the anytime something needs an act passed through the government in order for it to be real, so to say, it is centralized, man. And I think the word decentralized has lost its meaning to a lot of people, and then it's been pushed into different acronyms. So then people basically just say the stuff, and I'm like, it's not decentralized. It's not decentralized. In fact,
can't be decentralized at this point.
It can't be decentralized at this point if a central point created it and they're still around to control it. And then now, if the government has their hands in it, they just like using nice words, but it's not decentralized whatsoever. And the Digital Innovation Task Force and the Utah Blockchain Legislature, in some of these states like Utah, Wyoming, Montana, some of the smaller states, I'm gonna give it to them on this. I think they're trying to do the right thing via government, because
I agree. I do agree.
I don't think these people are malicious. I don't think that they're trying to do anything under the table like Cynthia Loomis, those type of people. They're actually trying to get people licenses and get businesses going because they see the money that can be made. However, from a technical standpoint and from a use case standpoint, long term, just call it a centralized autonomous organization. Just call it, just call it an organization. I mean, you're just reinventing the wheel with new words to try and describe what you're doing, but it's the same thing. So I don't want people to trip up on the decentralized part. The only decentralized thing I've seen is Bitcoin. And even at that point, there's aspects of it that become centralized over time, but the actual protocol itself is decentralized. Everything else, you don't even need to be decentralized. So what if your NFT project is centralized? What if the company that's centralized is good? I mean, we're about to do a story on that now. So it doesn't have to be that, but it sounds good. It's buzzwords. It's how people get funding.
Yeah. And I'm not even trying to get dark with it. I just couldn't think of a better example or metaphor analogy which one's like an ass? One of them is like an ass, and then the other one is something else. This similar metaphor. It's been a long time since 6th grade, but I couldn't think of a great right. Right. I couldn't think of a good example. Man, I'm getting to that point. I'm getting too old to have kids, bro. I'm gonna be like doing 3rd grade homework, like, oh, so y'all learned about this already? Damn.
If Johnny had 5 apples.
Right. Oh man. But no, what I was gonna say is I don't know it, but it's kind of like it's funny, but it's not funny. But again, and I'm saying this like I'm with you. I do think Utah and everyone else means well. Like some of the government entities they're trying to get the ball moving forward. But it's one of those things where it's like back in the day in the country when they was like, well, these people aren't human, or they're one whatever of a human. It's like, well, they are human, but they're like, no, they're not. They're like, but they are. So it's kind of like the same thing. They're saying that this government-regulated organization is decentralized. We're like, but it's not. But they're like, but it is. But we're like, but it's not though. Like you're telling us it's nighttime and the sun's up right now.
You're telling me these are 3/5 of an organization?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It was a terrible metaphor.
You almost 60% of the way there. You almost decentralized.
Yeah, that's you get what I'm trying. It was just like it literally doesn't make sense. Hey, Jake never fails to, bro. You're hilarious. Jake said I was telling people about Bitcoin in 6th grade back in '99. Listen, I tell you, man. I tell you,
man. Me and King already met Satoshi. We know you lying because we already met Satoshi, the dude with the ponytail who found Bitcoin in 06.
Oh man, buddy.
Remember that dude?
Oh yeah. Oh, I do remember him. Yeah, you funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. That reminds me of the first Bitcoin meetups I used to go to back in 2016, back in San Diego. Man, you talking about get weird. Man. Okay? It was ponytails all through there, bro.
Ponytails and feet. Nobody had shoes on. Showers were optional. Yeah, I can see it.
It was great. All right. Yuga Labs, last but not least. Yuga Labs' first Bitcoin NFT auction net $16.5 million in 24 hours. That's right. What happened with this Yuga Labs auction? Looks like it was a wild success, but what can you tell us about it?
Oh yeah, so Yuga Labs, the highest of the 288 bidders forked over just over 7 Bitcoins for one of the 288 Bitcoin ordinals-based NFTs up for auction. And the auction, this is pretty early that they started an auction on ordinals, and I don't think they started doing auctions for Ethereum NFTs until a couple of years. But this was their inaugural Bitcoin ordinal NFT collection. It netted them $16.5 million, and it was called the 12-fold auction. And congratulations to the top 288 bidders. You will receive your inscription within 1 week. Valid bids that did not rank in the top 288 will have their bid amount returned to their receiving address within 24 hours. So you had somebody who actually paid 7 Bitcoin or $161,000 for one of the pieces. If you look at the prices here, some people will pay 4, 3, 2, 2.5 Bitcoin, all because they wanted to get ordinals as early as possible in the Bitcoin NFT space. Because, as we kept telling you, if NFTs start slowly migrating to Bitcoin because other blockchains are deemed as securities or unreliable, it's over. It's all going to be on Bitcoin, everything. So at this point, this is just the money launderers getting in early.
Hilarious. And you know what? To kind of call back to it one more time, bro. Again, I'm thinking about yesterday. I literally spent 20 minutes explaining that no, a Bitcoin transaction is not fully anonymous. It's only pseudonymous. It's encrypted. You can't see how much you send somebody. It's encrypted. You can't.
Oh yeah.
I pulled up the blockchain explorer in front of him. I was like, I was like pseudonymous. I was like, you just gotta follow the address. And I like broke it all down. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Well, shit, still ain't gonna work. Hey, still ain't gonna work. Let's see. Omnibone said, what would it take to have an NFT with the market cap?
They would just
a lot
of
interest, volume,
a lot of customers. Yeah, volume.
Yeah, volume, right? Martin Luther King told Malcolm X about Bitcoin in 1964. Said S1 Dubs, you are hilarious. PFC Will Subtract said that Utah thing has caveats. It's not as utopia as it sounds. It just came out like a week ago. Of course, we got to keep our eye on that. Coinbase chain equals Fed chain. That's going to be most of them right there. All right. For the most part, that is the show for today. What else you got, Bitcoin Zay?
I got one more thing. Everybody that's on the show right now, jump on over to Twitter really quick and take a look at this. I'm going to pull it up here just so people can see. Because I don't really like to say I told you so. But here at the Gentleman of Crypto, we have a good habit of exposing people or showing them who they are early. Good old Richard Hart. Apparently, he has changed his bio. He doesn't read emails, newspapers, magazines, or anything. And he did the cardinal sin. John Morant's getting investigated. What did he do? Deleted his Instagram. If you've ever been around hood dudes, when they delete their Instagram, this is what is happening. So his first tweet, to show more humility and respectfulness, I've deactivated my Instagram account. So all I'm going to say is for the last few days, basically.
Hold on, I'll cut you off. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for the last few days, there's been people on Twitter speculating that Richard Hart may be under investigation by the SEC. The sharks may be circling. And I think the deactivation of your Instagram basically is the final nail in the coffin. You get rid of your Instagram, you know what's up there. And then he changed everything about his Twitter profile to a nice, humble young boy with.
This is what I'm talking about. I'll give you saying what we called it, because we did. When I say walking around at Louis Vuitton when your fucking community lost 90% of its capital, and you still got these couple. I'm like, all right. I keep telling y'all the obvious things gang don't like, which y'all think I'm playing. I was telling the guy yesterday. Actually, I told the guy yesterday. I was like, I be having to remind people. I was a naval officer, people. I could walk right back in. I did a great job. I'm a decorated officer. 2 deployments, baby. All right, I'm good. 2 degrees. Like what? I play ball. Like we don't have to do anything, people. We're trying to give you the signal. We're trying to give you the flag to let you know what's coming. And people like that and communities like that choose not to listen, whatever, we'll watch and report on it. But I'm with you. If you start deleting IGs, like here's the thing. You don't go from buying Louis V outfits and having bags full of designer, that's all even true, because I do know the hustle where people actually act like they walk out the stores with the bags, but it's not real. But you don't go from spending that capital and turning up like that and everything to, it's 2 or 3 months later, like, all right, I'm gonna be humble for everybody out the blue. Yeah. Like, was there near-death experience?
Exactly.
Like, especially deleting the IG. Like, was there near-death experience? Did you just get somebody pregnant? You get cheated on? Like, no. I'm gonna need more information than just like you said, I'm deleting IGs and everything cool. Nah, big red flag. I'm with you on that. But not only that, keep the same energy. That's why I hate all these people who be faking the funk, especially like Richard's probably what, 30s, 40s, late 30s or whatever, 40s. Like, you got to keep the same energy. That's who you are. Be who you are. If you're a number one stunner, that's why I like Birdman. Birdman been telling people for the last 40 years he a gangster. I believe him. he's kept enough money from artists where I believe him. All right.
You know what's funny too is the motherfucker couldn't even dress. That was the worst part. He spent all this money on all this bullshit and you couldn't even dress. You look like somebody's auntie with all these random pouches and random bags. And I'm like, dog, at least be able to dress. But no mention of the biggest diamond, no mention of all his cars and all the money and all this. And I'm like,
there we go.
I know a character. King is an actor. So he's a well-accomplished actor. We know a character when we see it. The reason to bring him around was, hey, he's a character. We know a character when we see it. He played a part, and the role is over now.
Yeah, it's about to be. Hey, we'll find out. We will find out. I'll be paying attention. I think the whole community will be paying attention. And once again, it'll be a learning lesson. And hey, that video is going to go up when it happens. But no. So Crazy BX Don. No. I mean, I'm a big boy. I appreciate it. Crazy BX said I didn't like the way he spoke to you during that interview. Again, I'm a pretty direct person. So if anybody's not directly disrespectful to me, I don't take it as disrespect. Honestly, I do take I know people know how to be facetious, and sometimes I don't read between lines. But no, I'm cool. Usually, yeah, Zay. I mean, Zay be the first person to tell anybody real life. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's no, you don't have to worry about me. I'm a big boy. Somebody, if I really feel disrespected by anyone, to a certain extent, unless we had some money or business on the line, then it's like you would find out almost immediate. It wouldn't be a lot of like holding it. I'm from East Side Detroit originally, people. I can't hold it in if I want to. Okay.
And plus interviews. The main thing is you want them to talk, to keep talking.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's
you
the
get combative,
business.
they seize up and they won't say anything. So just let them talk.
Yeah.
And he said a bunch of stuff that we will clip and we will post, depending on how this goes. But yeah, man, should have kept the same energy, man.
But I mean, to be real, I'm not against any type of federal intervention. So hopefully everything is cool. Hopefully, like I said, he just got a couple girls pregnant and they trying to get him. He like, hey, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got nothing. All right. Hopefully it's something like that. It's nothing terrible. But like you said, Zay, you had to call it out. That's a good call out. You don't delete the Instagram overnight. You don't go from I'm the biggest, baddest in crypto to, you know what, guys, I'm gonna be a little bit more humble and humility. Like, that's so we'll see what happens. But other than that is the show for today. Do you have anything else, Bitcoin Zay?
That's all for me. Everybody jump in the Discord. We'll be in there at 11.
All right, smash that, like and share, and we will see you all tomorrow. Some more crypto news. Cheers.